Please enjoy our feature presentation. The Little Green Dress presents Traditions and Legacies. Today's guest, Nikole M. Pettus.
We did it!
Oh my gosh, I was just getting ready to have a heart attack.
We did it.
Oh my goodness, we finally did it. Anyway, so hi Nikole.
Hi.
How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Thank you for I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Thank you.
Thank you so much for accepting this invitation.
Well, I'm so
I really
excited.
appreciate it.
Awesome.
Me too. Me too. This is our very first show. So let's talk a little bit. What you been doing since the COVID-19? How you been keeping busy?
Actually, I've had the best time. I work normally a lot.
Okay.
So it's been, really cool to have things that I've always wanted to do around the house that I just kind of go, I'm going to do that one day, and then that one day never comes. And so again, I changed the bathroom, used to be pink to,
Okay.
gray, because so it's on the, it's right across from Gray's bedroom. And so I was like, Gray needs his own bathroom. He was using the
Okay.
powder room downstairs. And yeah, so painted walls, cabinets in there. I've changed some stuff around in the house. I've just been moving and and I love to paint. If I can't paint a face, I'll paint canvas, I'll paint anything. So Gray and
Okay.
my son, are enjoying, the canvas art. So it's been good.
I saw that.
How
I
about
saw that
you?
you
What
have
you
the
been up
painting
to?
already. Well, I'm just all things Little Green Dress. All things Little Green Dress. That's what I've been working on. The third book is on its way out. Coloring book is in production. Working on getting a puzzle as well.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, working on those three things right now. And then I just launched this Traditions and Legacy. This is the first one, so I'm happy about that. Still working on trying to get them in the school systems.
Right.
Still working on that. So this round, this set will be the last set of softback copies. The next set after that is only going to be hardback, because those are the kind of books that they want in the
In
schools.
school, yeah. Cool.
And I wanted to tell you about your DIY. I saw what you did with your bathroom, the before and after. Great job.
Thank
It looks
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, you did wonderful. So tell everybody what you do exactly and where you live.
Well, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And I am a makeup artist,
Okay.
and wear many hats regarding makeup. I work for a company called Michael Salon, and based in Atlanta. They have 7 salons, and I run the makeup department for all 7 salons, and it's
Wow.
26 years being there. So I grew up there, basically.
Okay. But what exactly were you doing at Tyler Perry Studios? I know you probably was doing somebody's makeup, but like, what
I was
was
doing a
that
lot of
like?
people's makeup.
I'm sure. Okay, so the Little Green Dress presents like what we're going to talk about your journey to Gray.
Yeah.
For Mother's Day. This
Special
is
little
our
Mother's Day, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For Mother's Day.
Special
This is
little
our
Mother's Day, yeah.
Yeah, so I want you to talk all about your journey. Tell us
So,
about it.
I think it's amazing, that, Mother's Day, I think this year, maybe because I'm just noticing it so much because we're at home, that
Mhm.
people are sharing a lot of photos of their mom. And if they have kids, their kids with them or whatever, or the kids are showing their mom. So I feel like there's a lot of tension today just
Mhm.
geared towards Mother's Day because you really ain't got nothing else to do. And it's really sweet, but I also saw some people who were a little sad because they may have lost a child through, a premature death, if you will, like
Mhm.
miscarriage or
Mhm.
stillbirth. But
Anyways.
yeah,
Mhm.
the crazy thing is I've been through all of it. Yeah, and the story goes as far back in my 20s when I had a typical pregnancy,
Mhm.
and then fast forward to, well, after that, the doctor telling Tony and I that we wouldn't probably be able to conceive without some help, like, fertility help.
Mhm.
And I was in my 20s, so I was like, okay, not really thinking that that was going to be a problem. And then fast forward to just getting pregnant as soon as we bought our home. And it was like, oh, wait, we just bought a house, but that's cool. We didn't even think this was going to happen. So cool. And
Mhm.
carrying that baby to 34 weeks and having to, you know that his heart stopped. And so that stillbirth was just one of those things that could break your spirit, but that was really, if I didn't think I wanted a kid then, which I did after
Mhm.
I was pregnant, it was opened up a new idea of like a motherhood. I
Mhm.
really wanted it. So I went straight into like, how are we going to get pregnant? So we did 3 rounds of IVF, all in which none of the follicles, they turned to like eggs, got mature enough to even do a transfer and fertilize. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, those 3 rounds were, you know, null and void, if you will. And so that was like $30,000 down the drain and pretty much almost a year and a half of our lives. So then we took a breath, kind of
Mhm.
paused for probably a few months. And I just, brought it up. I was like, what do you think about adoption? Because we had started to look into like the donor egg situation. Because from what I understood, I was the problem. Tony
Okay.
had, fresh sperm or whatever, but it was
Mhm.
showing that my eggs were powdered eggs, basically. I was like
Okay.
35 or 36, but it is what it is. So I was like, all right, we looked into the donor egg situation and I kept looking at, profiles of, you know, beautiful African American, kind of looked like me, kind of was my
Mhm.
height and you just got to look at
Mhm.
this profile of a person. And then in my heart, I was like, if I'm going to, or if we are going to adopt an egg, why not
Mhm.
adopt a baby that needs a home?
Right.
you know, because it's not
Mhm.
my
Of course.
DNA, and so I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of had a little bit of a weirdness going. Okay, it must be my husband's DNA, not mine. How am I going to bond? That was the question. And
Right.
anybody who's going through that, you'll know that, you know what I'm talking about. That is the question.
Yes. Yes.
But I got over that question, but the adoption kept kind of coming to my head, like, let's just give a baby a chance. And I kind of felt real positive about being, a candidate for someone who wanted to give their child to a home that needed it. And we
Mhm.
really wanted a newborn, between a newborn and, 6 months, because we wanted to get them young enough where they weren't, missing,
Yeah.
a person or whatever. And
Yep.
it didn't take
Understandable.
much long after the home study to actually find a birth mother.
Okay.
My lawyer, adoption lawyer, called me at work one day and was like, "Can you get to this hospital? Because this girl just had a baby at 1 p.m." It was like literally 2 p.m. It was an hour later, and she had
Uh-huh.
already, knew she wanted to, give her child to people that could care for them. So I
Okay.
called Tony. I was like, You want to go meet this baby?" And he was like, "Oh, okay." And I was the most nervous thing ever because I wear a lot of jewelry. And I was like,
Right.
well, I can't hold a new baby with all these prickly things. So I was like, I got to take off my material. I got to go home and get something comfortable to hold a new baby. And it was so cute. Um,
Oh.
but yeah, so we went and met Alexandria for the first time on her first day of life. And she was adorable, adorable, sweet as can
Oh.
be. And her mom was really, I would say I kind of had an inkling then that she was just kind of nervous. And she said she didn't want to meet us. And then all of a sudden we were waiting in this holding cell, not cell, but the room. And
Mhm.
all of a sudden somebody came in, the nurse came in. She's like, the birth mother wants to actually meet y'all. And I was like, well, that's not part of the situation. She was talked about, And I told
Right.
Tony, Tony's like, well, I was like, all right, we'll meet her. And then we
Okay.
met her and we were just, we met the baby at the same time and she's there and it's like, are you sure about this? And I did ask her, I was like, are you sure? And she was like, oh yeah, and you're the perfect family for her and blah, blah, blah.
One. Uh-huh.
Fast forward to her, we had Alexandra for 7 days and, she came home with us and her mother, my social worker called one day. We were at my mother, no, I was at work and the baby was with my mom. And she said, how fast can you get home and get Alex to us here at the office? And I was like, what do you mean? Why? And she said, well, her mom wants her back. And in the state
Oh.
of Georgia, they have 10 days to change their mind.
Really?
You sign everything with the knowledge of that. But, you never talk about it in depth because it's one of those things that I don't know how rare it, often it happens or how rare it is, but you sign it when you're excited, like you don't think that's really going to be you. And
Right.
so, of course, I remember signing that paper after it happened, and I was like, okay. And of course, it was hurtful, but really only a few days after I came to conclusion as a wannabe mother at the time,
Mhm.
and knowing this girl who wasn't very young, she was in her mid to late 20s, already with a child, a toddler at the time. I
Okay.
said, if she wants her baby and I want a baby, then why would I be mad at her for wanting the baby?
Right.
Because we're wanting the same thing, you know?
Exactly.
And
Yes.
I really want her to want her child at the end of the day. I really want her, you give birth to a baby. And now that I have had that experience, I can, I feel even more passionate about her changing her
Mhm.
mind in a positive
Mhm.
way. People
Yes.
hear the story and they go, "Oh, how could she do that?" And I'm like, "You can't because it was hers, and God told her, don't do that." You know.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Mhm.
yeah, it kind of set us back mentally and emotionally for a little bit, and to the point where I was definitely going, done. No more.
Mhm.
Don't
No
want to talk
kids.
about anybody's baby. I'll go to your baby shower. I'll bring you something nice. I'll be that cool aunt. I'll be a godmother. I'll be
Mhm.
everything to children because I like them. But I'm
Mhm.
not, I'm not going to try to do this anymore. I was spent, not just financially spent, like
Protection.
emotionally spent. So
Yes.
we moved
Protection.
into that where we're just going to be, a happy little couple. And you'll be that
Mhm.
older couple, never had any kids and lives large. That's what we're
Right.
going to be at.
Right. Right.
And yeah, and then after that chill out moment of just I of course I always had work to do, but then I really went 100% going into just I'm
And
gonna
hard.
work
You went
and
hard.
enjoy my life.
Poured everything into your job.
And then out of the blue, there's things out
Hi,
of the
Terry.
blue. I was
Yes,
thinking,
God is good.
yeah, I was thinking I wasn't feeling well. I mean, not feeling well as in sick, just going, I don't feel like myself. And I'm
Mhm.
really tuned with my body. So that's the cool thing. Like I was just, I felt
That's
really
important.
tired. Yeah, it's very important to know, how you normally feel on a good
Mhm.
day. And if you're off
Mhm.
a bit, kind of check it out. So I had started going to the chiropractor because I felt like I had this kind of like that pinch nerve thing in the lower back. And I stand for a
Mhm.
living. I stood in the same place for so long. So I didn't think anything of that. And but I started going to chiropractor, which that was new for me because I'd never gone before. And then I started gaining weight in such an odd area and also in such a like rapid way, which is
Okay.
weird. Like, I know my body enough of like, if I eat this, I'm probably gonna blow up this way. But it was just like I wasn't eating differently. I was eating healthy. I was
Mm-hmm.
44, so I was really conscious of how I ate. And
Okay.
yeah, so my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, I think had her hysterectomy in her late 30s, if not really early 40s. And I remember I
Okay.
was a little girl when my mom had her hysterectomy early. So I thought maybe I was falling in line with, their female problems of, so reproductive
Mm-hmm.
organ problems. And so I called mom and I was like, I feel tired. I, I eat weird and I'm gaining rapid weight and I've got hot flashes and I'm moody. And she goes, check, 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 all menopause. And I was like,
Oh,
okay, early menopause. That makes sense.
menopause. Okay.
So I literally I made an appointment with my gynecologist and I said, when they asked, what are you coming in for? I was like, I probably need a pap smear. I hadn't had one in a year and just to kind of a full physical in that way. And I said, can you
Mm-hmm.
check with like this there's a lower little knot, which I've never had fibroids, but I did have some polyps, scraped off my cervix in the early ages. So my sister, she had fibroids and so I was like, maybe I got late in life fibroids. So I said, there's some kind of like hardening at the lower abdomen. So I want you to check that and then check my hormones. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think I might be going through early menopause like my, mother and her mother.
Right.
The cutest thing ever. I laugh about it every day. I kind of think about it every day is because it was a male gynecologist and the nurse was there and he started the pap smears, legs in
Uh-huh.
stirrups, the whole forcep thing came out and he got it and he
Right.
goes, oh, and I said, oh Lord, don't tell me I have cancer, I have something. Like I
Oh,
literally
oh
went
my
into the
goodness. You
worst
just
case
went way.
scenario and I said,
Uh-huh.
but if this is just like a cyst or something, my whole family has those. I get it. I mean, and he was like, no, you're pregnant. And I said, well, there's no way I can be pregnant. You know my history. You can see that I've lost a lot of children, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, and that, you know, and I think that we should look into this more. So he ordered the lady to get the what's the sonogram, the thing you
Mm-hmm.
put on your belly to see. And she put the gel on there and I saw it plain as day. This baby was already big enough to see, not just a little seed. And
Wow.
had a heartbeat. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, that tumor, you can call it a tumor, it has a heartbeat. And that's
Your
a
tumor had a
baby.
heartbeat.
At that point, I was already 17 weeks. So 4 months. And yeah,
Wow.
he was big enough to see and I could see his head, his legs, his everything. And I
Everything.
just I
So you
just
were
literally lied
totally related.
there going, you got a funny sense of humor, Lord. Like
Right.
I had to
Right.
I had
You
to go
cracked
through
up.
all that to get to this. That no, I didn't pay
Yeah.
any money for this. I didn't have to try too hard. I didn't like, yeah, we just had to, it just happened. But
Wow. That's
yeah,
awesome. That
so
is so awesome.
I preface when I started off, I think many people feel so desperate and so defeated when they have pregnancy losses, and I am a testimony that if you chill, and I tried
Yes, you
all
are.
the avenues, like I'm driven, so if I want to do something, it's gonna be done.
You're gonna get it
We're gonna
done.
get it
You're gonna
done.
get it
We're
done.
gonna spend every dime to do it. We're gonna do it, and no, it's really not about that. It's really kind of
Right.
relaxing and
The
being
Lord
grateful
said,
for
"Let me
what you
handle
got
this."
going on. Yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
turned my
Yep.
not my lack of child to my love of what I did and my home and my husband and all the things that, I was like, yeah, I have those, but I want this, you
Right.
know,
Right. Uh-huh.
and really turning that around to I have all this and I still can be happy anyway.
And you still to be happy.
Anyway.
So tell us a little bit about Greg. I think he is just the most well dressed, little boy I ever seen in my life. I have never seen a little man. He's a little man. I mean, he has so many. Suit jackets. I mean, he
Right.
should just. I mean, I don't. I feel like he really should have his own. He should be in the magazines. Honestly,
You
like
so
he should have
I
some
think you
modeling
might be a little
series.
partial, but yeah,
I am. I am.
he's he was born a gentleman. He truly came out the womb looking like he should have on a suit. Like I'm not even kidding. Like he never, even from the beginning, you know how you dress a newborn baby and it looks so awkward because the clothes don't really
Yeah,
fit
they're
because
kind
they're
of big
still
and they
kind
kind
of
of
like this weird ball,
yeah.
you know. He just looked like he was made to wear the clothes, and um, I think it has a lot to do still to the day of my age. Like I was raised, and you too, with the green dress.
Hmm.
We're
Yes,
raised to be dressed,
that's exactly right.
and on occasions, not on just special occasions, but anytime I need to leave the home, I put on clothes. And so I
Hmm.
think it was really important for me, and I wasn't conscious like I'm just going to dress them up, but anytime I dress up, if I looked nice going just even to,
Hmm.
a store, why would my
Hmm.
kid be in a t-shirt and shorts?
Right,
I have to
and you
put him
dressed to
in
the nines,
clothes
right?
too. I mean, it really
Yes,
has to match the family. So I love clothes. I mean, my history is
I
in
know.
fashion. So yeah, it was kind of the
You guys look.
logical thing that he was going to be dressed well. And when they were telling me when I was pregnant, there's really no good boy clothes. Girl clothes are easier because everywhere you go, you can find something for a girl. And that's
Uh-huh.
how I thought too until I had a son. And I was like, I don't know where these women are shopping, but I find plenty. Now, the
Oh,
key is, do you want to spend the money on it? Because they will run their knees to hold, like boys are so rough. that
Yes.
I have learned, calm down on the expensive stuff and save that for something. But in the beginning, I was just dressing them up in bow ties and button down shirts
Oh my
every day.
gosh.
It's just
I
my
encourage
thing.
all of Yes, I encourage all of you to go check out Nikole's page. Tell me your page again so
I
we
have
can come and check
two.
it
Now,
out.
my professional makeup page is NMP, Nikole Morrow Pettus, NMP Face Makeup.
Mm-hmm.
My personal page where you'll probably see mostly gray and
Okay.
food and clothes,
Great.
gray food and
Yes.
clothes, sometimes makeup, is Nikole Morrow Pettus, NikoleMorrowPettus. And I'll
All right.
accept
Let
you.
them know. Let them know.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about Gray. He does yoga.
Ready?
He plays the drums. He paints.
Thanks a lot.
He does he
You
meditates.
meditate.
This little boy,
Yeah.
and he is dressed to the nines every day. I just can't wait to come back to Atlanta to come
I
see him and just
know.
give him the biggest hug.
Get y'all
Yes, I
together
cannot
again.
wait.
Well,
I
all
cannot
that
wait.
stems from me being, already settled into my life, and when having a child at 44 and now being turning 50 this year and having a 5-year-old, it's like I'm going through
Congratulations.
my journey of like, you know, consciousness, mindfulness, all that. So
Mhm.
he's just kind of going with us, he just has to.
Mhm.
I mean, and
Yeah.
I actually look at it that way when it comes to all the journey itself of not having the first child and not having the second child. It's like, was I really ready? Because was I at that point of like, I know all things are gonna be, work out, that
Mhm.
kind of mindset? Not really. I was still kind
Well,
of,
and the Lord knew that. The Lord knew that.
yep,
He
yep,
knew that. So that's why he delayed things and
yep.
made it the way. That's
Amen.
the way
For
it's
sure.
supposed to be.
For sure. I'm a true
Yeah.
believer. I mean, they would have been well taken care of kids, but
Of course.
my focus wouldn't have been as I'm more focused on Gray enjoying his life.
Mhm.
I know every
I,
parent says that, but until
mhm.
you have a baby in your late 40s, in mid 40s, you really kind of give up the material part of them enjoying their life. If he never
Right.
is rich, if he never becomes a doctor or whatever
Mhm.
legacy may be in, my past or whatever, I would not
Mhm.
care, man. I mean, I don't want to be homeless, but at
Of
the end
course
of the
not. Of course
day,
not. You just want him to be happy.
yeah, and when your parents say, I want you to be happy, I think there's it's loaded. Of like, I want you to be
Mhm.
happy because I want you to do the things we're going to make you money to make you happy. Whereas
Right.
I'm truly going, happiness is wherever your heart takes you, and I'm here for the journey
Exactly.
with you. And I think alleviating that kind of weight of trying to direct him is going to
Mhm.
allow him to be either the painter, the yoga instructor, the musician, he rocket scientist, whatever he
Yeah.
decides. I think he's going to know that I'm going, whatever you want to do,
You're gonna be
whatever
right
you want
there.
to do.
You're gonna
Yeah.
be right there. All right. My time is running a little low. I want you to tell me about. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
So, if you were to leave today, if you were to leave this earth today, what would your legacy be? What legacy would you leave?
I'm going to go metaphorical real quick. I think I'm going to leave a legacy of true letting people be. who they want to be. Just as I just said about Gray, just letting people be. But freedom, I love all the things that my mom instilled in me. One of the coolest things, and I tell Gray this, so this is kind of a tradition or a legacy. If you're going to do anything, do it, and do it to the point where you can sign your name to it. So if you're the janitor and all you do is toilets, make sure you clean that toilet bowl so clean that you can put your name right at the bottom, and
I know
you did.
that's right.
And so
I
that's
know
kind of
that's
always
right.
been our tradition, is like leave people better than they were when you met them, and leave things and places. So we used to wipe the counter when we left, the restaurant. We would actually wipe everything and stack the dishes for the person to come get them. We just
You
have
know
this
what?
thing
I
about,
think that's important.
yeah, it's just being grateful and thankful for people serving you. And I want to help you a little bit and not just leave a mess. And so I feel like cleanliness and cooking and all things kind of home me is one of my legacies that I'll live. So I teach Gray how to cook already. Like
I know that's
he knows
wonderful.
how to
That's
make
so
a few
wonderful.
things.
So, what's his favorite dish?
It changes all the time. What is he asking? Well, his favorite thing is anything Mexican food related. And I should have known, because when he was 2, he was eating salsa, and I was talking about hot salsas. I was like, whoa, okay, he can take
Wow.
that. But yeah, he likes to make nachos, quesadillas, that kind of thing. And it's easier, so he doesn't have to really put his hands in like raw meat or
Yeah.
anything. I kind of prepare everything, and he just kind of makes it, presents it. But he helps me with every single meal. He asks to help with every single meal. So anytime I'm cooking, he's like, "Where's my part? What can I help?" And he'll mix things, with the mixer. He loves the electric mixer. Yeah, he peels things, not with a knife, but he can peel things away with his hands. He's pretty good. He's my sous chef.
Pretty handy.
Yeah, so
Pretty
that's what I
handy.
would say, that would be the legacy I'm passing on, is the love of cooking good food, not bad food.
Thank you so much, sister, for being my first guest here
Oh, thank
on
you.
Traditions and Legacies.
Well,
I
you're doing a
really
good
appreciate
job.
it.
I love everything about the little green dress, and I love the story, and I hope everybody kind of looks into it if they haven't already. It's really sweet.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I am definitely going to have you back. I'll give you a little time to rest, but I'll definitely have you back for another episode. We already touched on it, but we won't talk about it right now.
Okay,
But we'll get another one in.
for sure.
And I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day.
Me too. I hope
And
you did too. We had a great one. We're not finished yet. We're trying to fly a kite in a minute. We're gonna fly some kites.
okay.
Yeah. He's
Well,
never
all
flown a
right.
kite,
I'm
so
going
we're
to be
doing
looking
that.
for those pictures. I'm going to be looking
Absolutely.
for those
I
pictures.
will.
All right. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
love. Love you.
I love you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Think you're the best cooker.
Thank you, baby.
To find out more, check out the Little Green Dress story. And when you do, like and share.